Those who refuse the gift of eternal life are condemned to wander in the darkness of eternal night. Coming this fall from SJS Direct. The messy Jesse Williams hot mess is officially over for now. On paper, that is. Now, the divorce of messy Jesse Williams and his wife, Oren Drake Lee, was finalized in August of this year. And while your messy Jesse Williams has managed to keep almost $1 million in profits he made from Grey's Anatomy since their 2017 separation, he's not getting out of this divorce with a lot of the assets they built together. Now, your messy Jesse Williams in this divorce is going to have to fork over, I think, a couple of $100,000 in alimony, and he's going to have to fork over $40,000 a month in child support for his son and his daughter. In addition, your messy Jesse Williams has lost several pieces of property, like the family home in LA, a residence in Brooklyn and Oakland, and she's getting 2 SUVs that are leased, and that's just about it. But when I take a critical examination of your Jesse Williams, he could have had it all had he just stayed with his wife. And he should have stayed with his wife because this sister stayed with Jesse Williams when he was struggling. She stayed and helped him build himself up into having this career. And it was really, as I see it, the worst thing with Jesse Williams. He wound up abandoning his wife and his family in an effort to go Hollywood. Because soon after your Jesse Williams got this BET award, it seemed to go to his head. And your Jesse Williams thought on receiving this BET award for humanitarianism that he was going to get a major push from Hollywood, and he thought he was on the road to becoming the next Denzel Washington. Now, your Jesse Williams, he put the cart before the horse as related to his career, and he thought he had arrived. And instead of him understanding that careers are not built on one award, he wound up deciding he was going to go Hollywood and become this superstar, and he was going to divorce his black wife and leave his 2 children. And when he did that, what he didn't see was he was his own worst enemy, and he wound up torpedoing his whole career because his core audience of people who supported him were primarily black women, and most of those black women were only supporting him because he fit their fantasy of the biracial light-skinned brother with the crystal blue eyes and the creamy white skin, and they had the fantasy of being with that down, self-aware brother that they wanted to get with. Unfortunately, your Jesse Williams, on going Hollywood and thinking he arrived, thought he could be a part of Hollywood instead of supporting the black women who elevated him to superstar status. So, in addition to abandoning his wife, he alienated the black female audience that had supported him through the years, and those people, they stopped supporting him, and instead of seeing him as the dreamy light-skinned hunk with the crystal blue eyes and the creamy white skin, they started to see him as just another Negro, and they just started calling him a sellout and a traitor when he started going out here and dating Minka Kelly. And when he went out here to date Minka Kelly, a white woman, that was the end of messy Jesse Williams as a hunk in the eyes of all of those black females he built his career on. And that was the end of messy Jesse Williams as related to being anybody that Hollywood could think of pushing, because he had pushed away his audience when he pushed away his black wife. So that's how we got the start of the messy Jesse Williams hot mess. Your messy Jesse Williams was out here thinking he was going to arrive after receiving the BET Award for humanitarianism, but the great irony was he wasn't very humane as related to the way he treated his wife. Your Jesse Williams went out here and presented himself as somebody being so down with the community and connected with the community and so caring about the community. But when it was time for him to go out here and stay and maintain that image, he didn't do it. No, what your messy Jesse Williams did was he decided he was going to go Hollywood once he got his, and he was going to throw up a big middle finger at all of those sisters out there who supported him and tried to get an audience with all of these white girls out here. And once he did that, that was the nail in the coffin for your messy Jesse Williams, and it was the start of the messy Jesse hot mess. And that hot mess was something that he could have avoided had he stayed faithful to his wife. And with your Jesse Williams, you have some black males who want to say that Oren Drake Lee is a bitter black woman, but I don't see Oren Drake Lee as a bitter black woman. Your messy Jesse Williams made vows to be this woman's husband, and he made a vow to take care of his wife and his family. And instead of him staying dedicated and committed to his wife and his family, he showed his dedication and commitment to white supremacy by trying to go Hollywood one and then going out here and getting a white woman two. So this man destroyed his family and his home, all because he wanted to seek out white validation and approval, showing us how much of a fraud he was when he presented this black empowered image of this light-skinned brother with the crystal blue eyes and the creamy white skin. But he really wasn't about black empowerment. He was all about getting his pieces of crumbs off the master's table. And that's why many people are upset at Jesse Williams, because your Jesse Williams was nothing but a pro-black fraud. And when he got his chance to go get his white woman, he abandoned the black community he said he was so down with. And that's another reason why the messy Jesse Williams is a hot mess. And he's sitting there again talking about how the woman is so bad, but he created the situation. And this flies over the heads of many of the black males out there who are getting caught up in the gender war nonsense. This man willfully and intentionally did wrong to his black wife, and he abandoned his black family so he could go get Becky, and that's where he went wrong. And once he got Becky, he was going to again throw that middle finger up in the face of the sisters who supported him. And what happened was everything blew up in his face, and that's how we got the messy Jesse hot mess, and that's how your messy Jesse's hot mess turned into a complete disaster for your messy Jesse Williams, because he just did not understand that just because white people are paying attention to you doesn't mean that you throw away everything black about you. So when I look at your messy Jesse and the hot mess, the reason why I laugh at him is because this was just about him and him being this fraud, and this fraud showing us all how much of a joke he was, because he thought he was going to get ahead at our expense, but at the end of the day, he wound up losing, all because of everything he did to himself. Messy Jesse made a hot mess. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Isis, Escape from Transylvania. The goddess next door and John Haynes must escape a horde of vampires on the hunt in this horror-filled Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Escape from Transylvania in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.